Discover the best in local business news with a subscription to the IBJ and Inside Indiana Business. For a limited time, try us out for just $1 a week for 8 weeks. Claim this limited time offer now at ibj.com/trial offer.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on demand for Thursday, April 9th, 2026. I'm Gary Dick. Indiana's unemployment rate fell 0.1% to 3.4% in January. The Indiana Department of Workforce Development says the state added 10,200 private sector jobs compared to the previous month. Governor Mike Braun's executive order to enact a 30-day suspension of the 7% sales tax on gasoline includes the potential for extensions. The order is in effect now through May 8th. Braun called on retailers to pass savings directly to customers. Taxes on fuel in Indiana are made up of the federal gas tax of 18.4 cents per gallon, the state excise tax of 36 cents per gallon, and the 7% state sales tax. The North American Brass Band Championship returns to downtown Fort Wayne this week. The event will bring some 1,500 musicians from across the U.S. and Canada to the Northeast Indiana city for the 7th year. The Grand Wayne Convention Center will host the event, and competitions will be held at the Embassy Theater and Pearl Street Arts Center. Indiana American Water has announced plans to construct its second advanced drinking water treatment system designed to remove so-called forever chemicals at its Terre Haute operations. With an estimated budget of about $19 million, the project builds on the company's ongoing infrastructure investments and its statewide chemical mitigation program. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio. Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick, coming to you this week from Northwest Indiana, Jeffersonville, Muncie, South Bend, in downtown Evansville, Terre Haute, Fort Wayne, Richmond, from one of the state's key entrepreneurial and innovation hubs, 16 Tech. Inside Indiana Business, Indiana's business news leader. An 80-year-old drive-in theater in Boone County has closed after the property was sold.
Mel's at the Starlight Drive-In in Mechanicsburg announced the closure over the weekend on its Facebook page. The sale came before the drive-in was able to start its 2026 season. The theater last showed movies in late October. The drive-in operator did not identify the buyer of the property and said on Facebook that it would let the new owner announce future plans. It said the new owner won't run a business on the property and doesn't have plans for housing or apartments to be developed on the site. Additionally, the sale has nothing to do with a data center or developments at the LEAP Research and Innovation District, the Post said. Jennifer Lasley, Boone County assessor, said she hasn't yet received a transfer notice on the property. The news came as a surprise to customers after the company posted on Facebook on February 26 that it was preparing for the 2026 season and planned to offer early bird tickets starting March 1st. The drive-in operator could not be reached for further comment. The 300-car capacity drive-in opened in 1946 as the Outdoor Drive-In and operated under several names over the years, including Lebanon Frankfurt Drive-In, Mechanicsburg Drive-In, and Starlight Drive-In. According to several sources, there are fewer than 20 drive-in theaters left in Indiana. Alex Brown, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
A stretch of farmland in Rush County is quickly transformed into one of the largest investments the community has seen in years, and it's still just getting started. In November, Diamond Pet Foods' new manufacturing and distribution facility in Rushville went online and began producing pet food for customers throughout the Midwest. The building marks the latest expansion for a company that has grown from a small Missouri feed mill into a national operation. Today, the site employs nearly 200 people, and in the next several years, that number could climb to around 300. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
Do you want the real scoop on what's happening in Indiana business? Check out the IBJ podcast. I'm Mason King, and each week I sit down with people who make news in Indiana to get insights and perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. It's business, but you won't need an MBA. The guests run the gamut from CEOs, developers, and sports executives to artists and chefs and financial planners. If there's a theme, it's that everything has a cost. And success often depends on how you define profit and loss. So if you want to deepen your understanding of the people and projects shaping Indiana, give the IBJ Podcast a try. You can find it at ibjpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
The IBJ Media Podcast Network is the soundtrack of a growing state. Indiana is on the move, and you can hear it happening on the IBJ Media Podcast Network. We bring you the voices at the center of our economy, our courts, our companies, and our communities. Subscribe now and be part of the conversation that's building Indiana's future. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcasts.com.